Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And we are now working our way through Rossini, the great Italian opera genius of the classical period. I keep saying this, he was a classical composer. If you care about classical music from the classical era, I mean like Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven, Schubert, and Rossini. He's the one everyone leaves out because most of these composers were first Viennese school. And if you weren't Viennese, Haydn was never really Viennese, but if you weren't Viennese, then you don't count, which is just obnoxious. It's totally obnoxious. There was another great Italian composer of the classical era too, Boccherini, who was incredible, and he gets no love from anyone because he was Italian and Rossini was Italian. So they're all sort of stuffed into a different category of lesser musical significance. That is an obnoxious vestige of 19th century racist, nationalist, musicological bullshit. So it's about time Rossini got back where he belongs, which is as a luminary of the classical period. So let us talk about the luminary. We got a lot of overture discs. Get ready, folks. And operas. Isabella Colbrand, The Muse, featuring Joyce DiDonato. It's like incredible. Now, Isabella Colbrand was Mrs. Rossini. They didn't apparently get along all that well all the time, but she was the leading mezzo-soprano of her day, and Rossini wrote most of his great roles for her, especially his Neapolitan operas, the ones that had, that were not comic necessarily. That's why a lot of them are ignored. So here is a wonderful selection of arias for her, wonderfully sung, from everything from Armida, La Donna del Lago, Maometto Secondo, Elisabetta, Regina d'Inghilterra. Oh, that one's so much fun. Semiramide and some other goodies, Otello, and you name it. Fabulous, fabulous stuff. Wonderful recital. Listen to it. Love it. Then we've got Rossini Overtures with Peter Maag and the Paris Conservatory Orchestra, along with the Chopin, Roy Douglas, Les Sylphides. It's just lots of fun. But the William Tell, what are the overtures? William Tell, Cinderella, Semiramide, and La Cazza Ladra, the Thieving Magpie. That's really nifty. Then we have the opera, La Cenerentola, with Jennifer Larmore, Raul Jimenez, Gino Quilico, Alessandro Corbelli, and the three evil sisters, and two more evil sisters, however many there were. Two more, I think. Yes, they were Clorinda and Tisbe. That's who they were. This is with the Royal Opera the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden, under Carlo Rizzi. And it's on Teldec, and it's a really good performance of La Cenerentola, which is a masterpiece, by the way. It really is. It doesn't have lots of magic and foolish. You don't have a witch that comes on, or fairy godmother and goes Salakado, la machikapo, la bibidi babidi boo. I mean, that's not Rossini. It isn't. But there's a lot that is that's just as good. Then we've got the Barber of Seville. This is just the cheapy issue with Teresa Berganza and Fernando Corena and Ugo Benelli. Nikolai Yarov is in here. Sure, I haven't heard this in ages. The Rossini Orchestra of Naples under Silvio Varviso. I've got a million Barber of Seville, so, they sort of all blur in my mind, actually, at this point. What have we got here? Oh, yeah. Arias for Contralto with Eva Podlish. Eva Podlish is really a first-class Rossini contralto. I mean, she's not really, there wasn't really a contralto, an alto voice in Rossini's day. All the women were called sopranos, and, all the men were not tenors. Some of them were, and some of them were baritones or basses. But she's a wonderful singer, and this gives you great arias from the Italian in Algiers, and Semiramide, Tancredi, Maometto II, La Donna del Lago, the Barber of Seville, and Cenerentola, including Non più mesta, the rondo finale from Act 2 of Cenerentola. Isn't that it? Yes, I think it is. Anyway, then what have we got here? Oh, Rossini's string sonatas, early works. Early, charming, delightful little string pieces, numbers 1, 4, 2, and 5, with Ensemble Exploration under Roel Deltiens. This is These are done in their tiny string versions for solo instruments. Two violins, two violins, cello, and bass. They're cute. They're cute. I like them with bigger forces, of course, but you know. Antal Dorati conducts Verdi and Rossini. There you go. The Verdi is Forza del Destino, Nabucco, the Sicilian Vespers, Traviata Preludes, and with the Minneapolis Symphony, you have Gazzaladra, La Scala di Seta, Cenerentola, that's the Silken Ladder, in case you were wondering, Cenerentola, Cinderella, the Barber of Seville, the Italian Woman in Algiers, and Il Signor Bruschino. And then this one is more overtures with, Ferenc Fricsay, yeah, and Bizet Carmen Preludes and Ballet Music. So this is like a double dipper here. The Rossini stuff is done with, it's with the Berlin Phil and the RAIS Symphony and Berlin Radio and whatnot. And they're charming and delightful and delicious and lovely. And they're in mono. Yeah, I knew that. So that was part of the DG Original series. Giulini conducts Rossini Overtures with the Philharmonia, a classic, famous recording, beautiful performances of, 9 Rossini Overtures. I'm not going to list them all. They're all the ones that you think you're going to hear, and they're there. Then we've got part of this Naxos series of all the Rossini everything. L'Equivoco Stravagante with Alberto Zeda on 2 discs. This is like one of his opera buffas. Let me see when this is. A Bizarre Deception, written when Rossini was only 19. Well, there you go. It's about a scheming servant, Frontino, wants to break the relationship between Ernestino, daughter of a nouveau riche farmer, and the wealthy but stupid suitor, Burlicchio, so that Ermanno, a penniless young tutor, may have his love requited. Well, I mean, we've heard that story before, haven't we? But the music is delicious. The cast includes Pettia Petrova, Marco Di Felice, Marco Vinco, Dario Schmunk. Oh boy, you take away that N. What do you get? Dario Schmunk. Okay. Monica Minarelli and Eduardo Santamaria. And can't go wrong, right? Rossini complete. Meometto Secondo. Good, it's not the complete overtures. This is wonderful. Meometto Secondo is one of his Neapolitan operas. Let's see. There we go. Featuring June Anderson, Margarita Zimmerman, Ernesto Palacio, Samuel Raimi, all the Rossini people, with the Philharmonia under Claudio Scimone. This is a gorgeous performance of a great opera. This is the opera that became The Siege of Corinth, but the original Italian one is considered by many to be better, and I'm one of the many. I think it's probably better, the better version, and it's tremendous. It contains the terzetone, the big terzet, which is the end of one of the acts of this sucker, and it's like the world's longest terzet. It's like 45 minutes of continuous music. I mean, Rossini was really kind of amazing when he got going in these more experimental Neapolitan operas, and this is one of the greatest. So, yeah, go for it. It's terrific. And there you have it, my friends, some amazing Rossini here from the Overflow Room. We've got several more Rossini videos to come. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me.